To the Transformer station in Ohio City, blocks away from Gordon Square's Art District. The privately owned and operated art museum hosts exhibitions annually. It's also where I recently interviewed our latest game changer. In June of 2021, Jeremy Johnson returned home to Cleveland to take on a new role that is pioneering the Cleveland art scene. Now he's making sure we can create the memories he has while also growing the city's creative industries.
I feel like I've come back to Cleveland. I recognize the street names, but the city looks different, it feels different, the leadership is different, the people have a certain excitement about them. And of course, one of the main reasons why I'm here is arts and culture.
And there is plenty of excitement that Jeremy Johnson has come home to help shape the future of our city. Last year, he was named the first president and CEO of Assembly for the Arts, a brand new umbrella organization that aims to elevate Northeast Ohio's creative industries.
The art industry, a $9.1 billion industry that accounts for some 65,000 jobs, that generates literally more than $3 billion to our tax coffers every year. So we have to raise up that, and then we have to draw attention to that.
The timing couldn't be better, as arts organizations are starting fresh after pandemic closures and cancellations.
The arts and culture industry was hurt far worse than any other industry. So whether it's organizationally or individually, we are still in a moment of recovery and reinvestment. And thankfully, the arts and culture industry is primed to come back out.
A role he is uniquely primed for. Johnson grew up here in Cleveland's Glenville neighborhood before spending over 30 years on the East Coast. He says he knows the impacts of Cleveland art and culture firsthand.
When I was in third grade or fourth grade, I just remember so many nights leading up to a big field trip, and I just couldn't sleep at all because I knew, hey, we're going to go to see the Cleveland Orchestra at Severance Hall. I remember during the holidays as a kid going to see the wonderful theater performances at Karamu House. So it was really part of my upbringing. I want that for the next generation and the next generation after that.
It's that motivation that brought him back. But Johnson says, despite the pride we take in our art scene, Northeast Ohio still has room for improvement.
The interesting thing about our region, and especially about Cleveland proper, we are a great arts city, and we're one of the few great art cities that doesn't have a point person for the arts in our city hall. And we're so happy to be making some progress and getting that happening. So stay tuned for that.
Important strides have also been made in just the last few weeks to secure $3.3 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds for the arts.
Assembly is happy to help work with both government, artists, creatives, organizations to see those dollars reinvested and raise awareness, raise visibility across the region and across the nation.
But finding future funding will remain a top priority in order to ensure Northeast Ohio's arts and culture continue to be an important piece of what makes this region so special.
Why is it so important for people in Cleveland to enjoy the arts?
It touches every aspect of our lives, our economy, public safety, public health. The arts are a key tool to bring us together, and I think that will make for a better society.
And in the terms of that future funding we mentioned, Johnson told me the revenue that currently comes from the Cuyahoga County cigarette taxes is now down. That's a good thing because people are smoking less, but it means less money for the arts. So Assembly is currently working with government officials and other organizations to find new sources of funding. And that may mean going back to the polls, maybe a change in the law. So I really love the series because you get to meet great people like this. He's an outstanding man, no question about it. And we're so glad to have him back. He was in New Jersey for so long working in the art scene there, Master of Fine Arts at the University of Iowa. So it's good to have him on our side now back home.
And he makes such a great point about the art scene and the arts and culture that we have in Northeast Ohio. And maybe you're sitting at home realizing it, but I mean, we always talk about the theater, that we are the largest outside of New York City.
Right.
And just, the museums that we have are incredible. So the work he's doing, definitely appreciated by all of us who enjoy the arts and culture.
Yeah. And the other thing too is the people that were hurt during the pandemic. A lot of people lost a lot of money, and the scene was definitely hurt. So you know, that funding is such a key thing. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And also, I also found interesting inside City Hall with the mayor. You know, keep your eye on that. They you know, a point person inside City Hall.
Okay.
That'll be the next step.
That'll be good. We'll just have to buy tickets and go to all these performances and stuff to help with that funding.